Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq, back with our annual Singapore Fintech Festival coverage. Organized by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the Singapore Fintech Festival is on its 6th edition, and we're proud to be a media partner for the 4th year in a row. Joining me for this segment is Varun Mittal. He's EY's Global Emerging Markets Fintech Leader to discuss financial inclusion projects for emerging markets globally. It's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill.
All right, and Varun, tell us about EY's role in fintech.
The way we look at it is financial institutions globally are looking at how they can embrace newer solutions, how they can be part of daily lives of customers, and which is why you see initiatives like digital banks, you see green finance, where non-financial players, new to financial services players, are creating such solutions, and they can work with companies like EY to bring those solutions to market, and we can act as a bridge between the existing financial players and new to financial services players to be an effective bridge to bring together the proposition, distribution, and customer trust and behavior comes from the new players, the strength and the complexity and the regulatory governance from the traditional side, and we stitch this all together.
Right, that really is a key theme that we're hearing in fintech in general, where you have the legacy institutions providing the regulatory framework, the banking and so forth, and the fintech companies being able to accelerate the technology behind it. So with that, Varun, tell us about some of the key themes that you're hearing at SFF this year.
So a couple of key themes have been, I would say, sachet economy in financial services. So micro investing, micro pensions. So gig economy, for example, became a massive focus during COVID because now every country that segment is growing, and this segment does not have retirement protection. This segment doesn't have income protection if they are sick. They do not have an employer health plan to fall back on. So just in Singapore, we have about 400,000 people in a population of 5 million. Who are in gig economy, and their families contribute to about 15% of the population from that perspective. Singapore has 350,000 foreign construction workers, another 300,000 maids. So if I just look at this is already like 20-25% of the population, and like 30% of working population of Singapore has newer needs because COVID has changed the way their businesses are going to happen. How they cannot travel, they couldn't travel for last 1 year. They couldn't go to the physical remittance stores. They want to buy protection for their families overseas. So the way we look at it is that the sachet economy version of financial services, the ability of having white label financial services product for the companies which marketplaces can do this white label products, that's something for me has been the biggest theme for the last 2 years, and I see that becoming 3-4 times from where it is, because the marketplaces have a lot more ability to bring these capabilities to the customer. They already know the behavior, they know the customer, they have that trust, they're part of daily lives, and financial institutions have said, perfect, if that's the case, fair enough, we will provide you the right set of capabilities to add value to these customers' life.
Right, and it's so interesting because when you think about it, traditional finance was kind of telling customers what product they think they need, but in today's day and age with fintech, it's almost like they're listening to customers and what they want, right? So when you think of it in that context, where are you seeing the opportunities when it comes to financial inclusion for emerging markets globally?
So the biggest opportunity I see from the financial inclusion side is the replacement for cash, because people could not pay physical cash during the whole COVID. So the digitization which happened by force, the biggest opportunity is to not lose the initiative. So a lot of behaviors which change, how do you do not go back to pre-COVID? Because a lot of financial institutions, if you talk to them, they says, it would have taken me 4 years to convince my bank to do it. Now we have done it. How do we unwind it or do we continue? Does this become the new normal from the process perspective? And people, so think of it, small shopkeepers in Philippines, Indonesia, now take orders on WhatsApp, WeChat, local messengers, Instagram, they take orders on that and they service it. There are dedicated companies who are focused on enabling small shopkeepers, local shopkeepers to sell through these social media platforms and collect money also. So how do we not lose this initiative? because people will continue to go back in the stores and everything. But how do we not lose that transition is, I would say, is the biggest opportunity. Is not to gain more, not lose. Sometimes we have in a defense mode. To not lose on the gains we achieved in last 2 years is, in my view, a bigger priority than to go after new gains.
Right, that's a great point. Varun, it's great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.